Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. You can't turn back, you come too far, you can't give up, you work too hard. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. You can't turn back, you come too far, you can't give up, you work too hard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dissertation in 90 Days. I'm your host, Dr. J, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. As an expert in academic writing and research, I'm here to guide you through the intricate journey of crafting a successful dissertation. Our goal is to provide you with practical, actionable advice that you can immediately apply to your work. Today, we're diving into a crucial aspect of dissertation writing: identifying and addressing research gaps. This is a topic that can often be overlooked, but it's absolutely essential for building a strong, impactful dissertation. Whether you're just starting out or you're deep into your research, understanding how to pinpoint these gaps can set your work apart and ensure that it contributes something truly valuable to your field. Research gaps are the areas within your topic that have not yet been explored or fully understood. They represent the questions that haven't been answered or the problems that haven't been solved. By identifying these gaps, you're not only demonstrating your depth of knowledge, but also positioning your research as a vital contribution to ongoing academic conversations. Throughout this episode, we'll explore practical strategies for finding these gaps and discuss how you can effectively address them in your dissertation. This is a hands-on guide aimed at helping you make meaningful progress in your academic journey. So get comfortable, grab your notebook, and let's get started on making your dissertation the best it can be. Together, we'll tackle the challenge of finding those elusive research gaps and turning them into opportunities for groundbreaking work. Welcome again to Dissertation in 90 Days. Let's dive in. All right, let's dive into the heart of today's topic: understanding research gaps. First, let's break down what a research gap actually is. Imagine you're reading through a mountain of academic papers on your topic. You start noticing there are certain areas that haven't been fully explored, or maybe some questions that haven't been answered. These uncharted territories in your field are what we call research gaps. Identifying these gaps is incredibly important. Why? Because addressing them is your opportunity to contribute something new and valuable to your field. It's what makes your dissertation stand out. When you find a research gap and tackle it, you're not just repeating what's already been done, you're pushing the boundaries and adding fresh insights. This makes your work not only relevant, but also impactful. Now, let's talk about the different types of research gaps you might encounter. Understanding these can help you recognize them more easily in your own reading and research. First, we have theoretical gaps. These occur when there's a lack of existing theories or models to explain a particular phenomenon. Maybe the current theories are outdated or they don't quite fit with new findings. Identifying a theoretical gap means you have the chance to develop new concepts or refine existing ones. Next, there are empirical gaps. These are areas where there's insufficient or inconclusive data. Perhaps studies have been done, but they haven't been comprehensive enough, or the results have been mixed. This type of gap indicates a need for more data collection or more rigorous analysis. Then we have methodological gaps. These arise when there are issues with the research methods used in previous studies. Maybe the methods were flawed, or perhaps new methodologies have since been developed that could offer better insights. Addressing a methodological gap means you might introduce a new way of investigating your topic, leading to more reliable and valid results. Finally, there are practical gaps. These are real-world issues that current research hasn't addressed. Maybe there's a problem in your field that hasn't been solved yet, or existing solutions aren't working effectively, by identifying a practical gap, you can focus your research on finding real, actionable solutions. Understanding these types of research gaps and recognizing them in your field is the first step towards making a meaningful contribution with your dissertation. It's like finding a puzzle piece that's missing and knowing that you can be the one to complete the picture. So as you delve into your research, keep an eye out for these gaps. They are your opportunity to shine and to make a significant impact. Now that we understand what research gaps are, let's talk about how to identify them. This process starts with conducting a thorough literature review. It's the foundation of any good dissertation and absolutely crucial for finding those gaps we discussed. First off, the importance of a comprehensive literature review can't be overstated. Think of it as your roadmap. By exploring what's already been studied, you can see where the gaps are, what's been covered, and where you can make your mark. So, how do we go about this? Start by using databases like JSTOR, PubMed, and others relevant to your field. These platforms house a wealth of academic papers. Begin with broad keywords related to your topic, then narrow down as you get a better sense of the existing research. Reviewing abstracts can save you time, giving you a snapshot of what each study covers. If an abstract seems promising, dive into the full article. This way, you can build a strong understanding of what's out there. Once you've gathered a substantial amount of literature, the next step is to analyze it critically. Don't just read these studies, engage with them. Look for patterns in the findings. Are there areas where studies contradict each other? Are there questions that many papers raise but don't answer? These are your clues. Comparing studies helps you see what's missing and what could be explored further. Remember, a gap in the literature isn't just about what hasn't been studied. It's also about what needs more clarity or better methods. Speaking of methods, research tools can be incredibly helpful in this phase. Tools like Google Scholar and Web of Science allow you to track citations, showing how often and where a paper has been cited. This can help you identify influential studies and see how the conversation around your topic has evolved. Citation tracking can lead you to newer research that might highlight current gaps. Don't overlook these tools. They can save you a lot of time and guide you to the most relevant studies. Now, let's not forget the power of the academic community. Engaging with peers and mentors can provide insights that you might not find in papers. Discuss your ideas and findings with others. Attend conferences and seminars to hear about the latest research and trends. These events are gold mines for spotting research gaps. When you listen to experts talk about ongoing projects, you can identify what's hot and what still needs attention. To summarize, identifying research gaps involves a mix of thorough reading, critical analysis, and active engagement with the academic community. It's about being curious and diligent. Conduct a solid literature review, use research tools to deepen your understanding, and don't hesitate to reach out and discuss your ideas. By following these steps, you'll not only find the gaps, but also position yourself to fill them with meaningful, impactful research. So, take your time with this process. Dive deep into the literature, use every tool at your disposal, and connect with your academic network. This is your journey to discovering where your work can make the most significant impact. All right, now that we've identified those research gaps, it's time to address them. The first step in this process is formulating your research questions. Think of these questions as the backbone of your dissertation. They should be clear, focused, and directly related to the gaps you found. Start by asking yourself, what specific aspect of this gap do I want to explore? For example, if you've discovered a theoretical gap, your question might be, how can existing theories be expanded to better explain this phenomenon? If it's an empirical gap, you might ask, what new data can provide more conclusive evidence on this topic? The key is to be precise and make sure your questions are directly addressing the missing pieces in the current research. Let's look at a practical example. Suppose your literature review reveals a lack of studies on the impact of social media on academic performance in high school students. You might develop a research question like, how does daily social media usage affect the academic performance of high school students? This question is specific, manageable, and it directly addresses the gap you've identified. Next, let's talk about designing your methodology. Your methods should be chosen carefully to fill any methodological gaps you've identified. This means selecting research methods that are both rigorous and appropriate for your questions. For instance, if previous studies lacked longitudinal data, consider a longitudinal study design. If there were issues with sample size, make sure your study includes a sufficiently large and diverse sample. Ensuring the rigor and validity of your research approach is crucial. This involves not only choosing the right methods, but also applying them correctly. Be meticulous in your data collection and analysis. Document your procedures in detail so others can replicate your study if needed. This transparency strengthens the validity of your research. Collaboration with experts can also play a vital role in addressing research gaps. Experienced researchers can provide invaluable feedback and guidance. Don't hesitate to seek advice from mentors, colleagues, or even experts you admire in your field. Their insights can help you refine your questions, improve your methodology, and avoid common pitfalls. Building a network of academic advisors and collaborators starts with reaching out. Attend conferences, join academic societies, and participate in seminars. These are excellent opportunities to meet potential mentors and collaborators. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself and discuss your research interests. Most academics are happy to share their knowledge and help guide emerging scholars. To sum it up, addressing research gaps involves formulating focused research questions, designing a rigorous methodology, and seeking collaboration with experts. By following these steps, you can ensure your dissertation not only addresses important gaps, but also makes a meaningful contribution to your field. So, as you move forward, remember, be specific in your questions, meticulous in your methods, and proactive in seeking expert advice. This approach will help you turn those research gaps into opportunities for groundbreaking work. Let's get started on making your dissertation a significant and valuable piece of academic work. Let's dive into some practical tips for navigating your PhD journey. Staying organized and maintaining motivation are key to making steady progress. First, let's talk about staying organized. Managing your research can feel overwhelming, but with the right tools and strategies, you can keep everything on track. One of the best ways to stay organized is by using project management tools. Apps like Trello, Asana, or Notion can help you keep all your tasks, deadlines, and notes in one place. Create a system that works for you. Maybe you like breaking your work into smaller tasks and setting deadlines for each. Or perhaps you prefer visual boards where you can see your progress at a glance. Whatever it is, find a method that keeps you on top of your work. Another helpful tip is to maintain a detailed research journal. Document your ideas, progress, and any obstacles you encounter. This can be a physical notebook or a digital document, whatever you find easier to manage. Having everything recorded in one place will help you track your journey and easily refer back to your thoughts. Now, let's discuss maintaining motivation. Staying focused during a PhD can be challenging, especially when you hit a rough patch. One effective way to keep your motivation high is by setting small, achievable goals. Celebrate these small victories. They add up and keep you moving forward. It's also important to remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. Reflect on your passion for your research and the impact you hope to make. Connecting with your peers can also be incredibly motivating. Join study groups or online communities where you can share experiences, challenges, and tips. Sometimes just knowing that others are going through the same thing can give you a boost. And don't forget to take care of yourself. Regular breaks, exercise, and time with friends and family are crucial. A healthy work-life balance can make all the difference in maintaining your energy and enthusiasm. So remember, staying organized and keeping your motivation high are both about finding what works best for you. Use the tools available, keep your goals in sight, and don't hesitate to seek support when you need it. You've got this, and every step you take brings you closer to your goal. We've covered a lot today, so let's take a moment to recap. Identifying and addressing research gaps is a crucial part of your dissertation journey. By finding these gaps, you're not just adding to the existing body of knowledge, you're making a significant, unique contribution to your field. We discussed the importance of a thorough literature review. Using databases and tools to gather and analyze existing research helps you spot those gaps. We also talked about formulating research questions that directly address these gaps, designing rigorous methodologies, and seeking advice from experienced researchers. Now it's your turn to apply these steps. Take the time to dig deep into your literature review. Be curious and critical. Develop clear, focused research questions and choose methods that will provide reliable results. Reach out to your academic community for support and feedback. Remember, this process is not just about filling in the blanks. It's about pushing the boundaries and making a real impact. I encourage you to share your experiences and questions with us. How are you identifying and addressing research gaps in your work? What challenges are you facing? Let's continue this conversation and learn from each other. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dissertation in 90 Days. I appreciate your time and dedication to improving your research skills. In our next episode, we'll navigate the research proposal process. You won't want to miss it. Feel free to connect with us on social media for more tips and updates. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you have any questions or need further guidance, don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time, keep pushing forward with your research. You're making valuable contributions to your field, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Thanks again for listening, and see you next time.